Did Fyodor Dostoevsky, in his masterpiece, Crime and Punishment, predict the psychology behind modern crime? Together, we will go through a journey in the mind of a literary genius, a journey that will take us through the twisted alleys of a tormented psyche and into the heart of one of literature's most enduring mysteries. Our story begins in the mid-19th century, in the heart of Russia. Fyodor Dostoevsky, a name synonymous with literary brilliance, had just penned down his magnum opus, Crime and Punishment. This novel, a harrowing exploration of crime, morality, and the depths of human conscience, has continued to intrigue readers for over a century. But who was Dostoevsky, the man behind this masterpiece? Born in Moscow in 1821, he was a man of contradictions. A former engineer turned writer, a gambler plagued by debt, and a political dissident sentenced to death, only to be pardoned at the last moment. His experiences in Siberia's harsh prison camps greatly shaped his worldview and in turn his writing. This personal brush with law and punishment, we believe, lent an authenticity to his portrayal of Raskolnikov, the protagonist of Crime and Punishment. Now let's set the stage. Picture Russia in the 19th century, a society in flux, caught between tradition and modernity. The serfs had been emancipated, but economic disparity was rampant. The intellectual elite, the nihilists, were beginning to question religious and moral norms. It is in this turbulent socio-political landscape that Raskolnikov, a destitute former law student, commits his heinous crime. But what led him down this path? Was it desperation, a twisted sense of moral superiority, or something far more complex? As we delve deeper into Raskolnikov's psyche, we begin to see eerie parallels with modern criminal psychology. How did Dostoevsky, writing in the mid-19th century, manage to capture the nuanced workings of a criminal mind with such uncanny accuracy? These are the questions that continue to fascinate scholars and readers alike. So, fasten your seatbelts as we embark on this thrilling journey. Let's dive into the world of Raskolnikov, our protagonist in this chilling narrative. Raskolnikov, a man tormented by poverty and desperation, commits an unthinkable act. This act, a brutal double murder, is the catalyst for a journey into the psyche of a criminal. Raskolnikov, a former law student, justifies his crime with a theory. The world is divided into ordinary and extraordinary men. The latter, he believes, has the right to commit crimes if it aids in achieving their purpose. This concept of the extraordinary man is chilling, yet fascinating. It's a twisted perspective that allows Raskolnikov to rationalize his crime. He sees himself as an extraordinary man, above the moral laws that govern ordinary men. He is a Napoleon, a Caesar, believing he is justified in his actions because they serve a higher purpose. But let's put this in context with modern criminal psychology. We often find that criminals, particularly those who commit heinous acts, have a distorted sense of self. They may believe they are special or superior, much like Raskolnikov. This is not to say that Dostoevsky was laying the groundwork for modern criminology, but rather that his insights into the human mind were eerily accurate. Raskolnikov's actions also reflect the concept of moral disengagement, a term coined by psychologist Albert Bandura. This theory suggests that individuals rationalize immoral behavior by disengaging from their actions and their consequences. Raskolnikov does just this, convincing himself that the pawnbroker's death will benefit society. But here's the catch. Raskolnikov is not a hardened criminal. He is deeply conflicted, tormented by guilt and remorse. His theory of the extraordinary man is his desperate attempt to justify his crime, not only to society, but to himself. But can we simply dismiss Raskolnikov's actions as a product of his time? Or do they reveal a timeless truth about the human capacity for rationalization and moral justification? The lines between right and wrong blur in the face of desperation and distorted self-perception. A chilling insight that transcends the pages of Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. The aftermath of the crime takes us on a psychological journey unlike any other. When Raskolnikov commits his heinous act, he is catapulted into a whirlwind of guilt and conscience. This sense of guilt, however, is not immediate. It creeps up on him, gnawing at his sanity and pushing him into an abyss of self-destruction. His conscience, a silent observer until now, springs into action, becoming a relentless tormentor. This dance between guilt and conscience forms the crux of Raskolnikov's psychological turmoil. The guilt he experiences is not merely a byproduct of his crime, but a testament to the inherent human instinct to abide by societal norms and moral codes. Contrast this with his conscience, which serves as a moral compass, guiding him, taunting him, and ultimately leading him to confess his crime. In the realm of modern criminal psychology, this internal struggle is not uncommon. The guilt experienced by criminals often manifests as a form of cognitive dissonance, a mental conflict resulting from the clash between their actions and their inherent moral standards. However, it's the role of conscience that proves to be more complex. While some psychologists argue that a strong conscience could deter individuals from crime, others suggest that conscience, much like in Raskolnikov's case, can be manipulated or suppressed, allowing individuals to justify their actions. Dostoevsky masterfully captures this psychological tug-of-war, painting a vivid picture of the human psyche's complexity. Through Raskolnikov, he explores the intricate dance between guilt and conscience, and how it shapes human behavior. This exploration raises important questions for us today. How does our understanding of guilt and conscience influence our perception of crime and punishment? Can an individual's guilt and conscience be manipulated? And if so, what are the implications for justice? As we delve deeper into the psyche of Raskolnikov and the philosophical underpinnings of crime and punishment, we're left to grapple with these ponderous questions. But what happens when these theories are applied outside the realms of fiction? The extraordinary man in today's society. A chilling thought. Imagine for a moment that Raskolnikov's theories were not confined to the pages of Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, but were instead applied today. Consider the premise of the extraordinary man, one who places himself above the law, believing his unique abilities or mission justifies any act, even murder. It's a concept that, on the surface, might seem far-fetched, but when we look closely, echoes of this theory can be found in the real world. From despotic leaders to unscrupulous businessmen, the belief in one's exceptionalism, the notion of being above societal norms, is not entirely alien to our modern consciousness. Now let's delve into the implications of this hauntingly familiar theory. If universally accepted, it would create a society of unchecked egos, where the strong subjugate the weak, and justice becomes a matter of perspective. A world where the moral compass is replaced by the rule of the extraordinary, rendering ethical codes obsolete. But is this not a distorted reflection of our society today? Are we not witnessing a surge of individualism where empathy and collective responsibility are often sidelined? These are the questions that Crime and Punishment forces us to confront. Questions that remain strikingly relevant more than a century after Dostoevsky penned his masterpiece. Moreover, the novel challenges our understanding of justice. Is punishment a necessary deterrent, or does it serve a more cathartic purpose, allowing the guilty to find redemption? And who decides the scale of punishment? Is it society, or is it the individual's conscience, as Dostoevsky seems to suggest through Raskolnikov's psychological torment? As the mysteries of crime and punishment, we're left questioning our own moral compass. This is not merely a tale of a man's descent into crime and his subsequent guilt. It's a mirror that Dostoevsky holds up to us, a mirror that reflects our society, our morals, and ultimately, our humanity. It's a mirror that compels us to question, to introspect, and to seek the truth. In conclusion, Crime and Punishment continues to captivate and intrigue readers with its timeless exploration of morality and justice. It's a mirror held up to society, a reflection of our own struggles with right and wrong, and a beacon guiding us through the murky waters of the human psyche. As we have dived deeper into the enigmatic world of Fyodor Dostoevsky's masterpiece, we've journeyed alongside Raskolnikov, experiencing his inner turmoil, his justifications for murder, and his agonizing guilt. Through the lens of 19th century Russia, we have explored the protagonist's descent into crime and conscience, and considered the eerie parallels with modern criminal psychology. We've peeled back the layers of this compelling narrative, dissecting key scenes and character motivations to reveal the hidden depths within Crime and Punishment. We've heard from renowned literary scholars and psychologists who have lent their insights into the uncanny accuracy of Dostoevsky's portrayal of the human psyche. The chilling question we've grappled with is, what if Raskolnikov's theories of the extraordinary man were applied in today's society? The implications are indeed unsettling, prompting us to question our own moral compass and societal norms. As we close this chapter on crime and punishment, the conversation is far from over. We would love to hear your thoughts and interpretations. Do you agree with the analysis presented? Do you see other layers of meaning within the text? What are your reflections on the implications of Raskolnikov's actions? The beauty of literature lies in its ability to evoke personal responses and interpretations. So, let's keep this conversation going. If you found this exploration intriguing, why not share it with your friends and fellow philosophy enthusiasts? The more minds we have delving into the depths of Dostoevsky's masterpiece, the more truths we may uncover. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep seeking the truth.